up, people? It's your boy Spam back again with another match preview. It's been a while since we've done one of these. We normally do the Friday Rival show. However, we had to make a special occasion because, of course, it is the Manchester Derby. Manchester United against Manchester City. I don't know why that's popped up, but you love to see it. Nevertheless, as always, get your comments in, get your thoughts in. We'll be back straight after this short break. Yes, it is the big one, people. Make sure if you're joining us live, I'm not expecting many to join live because we've never recorded at this time. So obviously people are probably thinking, what the hell is going on here? But certain circumstances, I can't record later today. So nevertheless, make sure if you're watching this on repeat, get your score prediction down below. Get your comments if you're joining us live. And of course, slap a like on the video. I'm joined by two fantastic guests as always. First and foremost, in the new studio, the Yankee I love to know. We got Shawn in the building. Shawn, how you doing, brother?
Yeah, I'm doing well, fam. Bless up. Good to see everybody. Looking forward to the show today.
Yes. You love to see it. And he's here again, this time rocking the freshest of fresh frames. We have got three in midfields, very old. Kojo is in the building. Kojo, how you doing, bro?
I'm good, bro. But you know what also cool me? Usman talks United's very own as well, because you know what I'm saying? This is a family team.
Yes, you love to see it.
But I'm good, man. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Obviously, listen, it's the weekend, positive vibes. I'm sure a universal feeling right now for everyone who is actually finished from work this week. I don't know if Shawn is. I feel like, Shawn's a bit behind. Are you behind us or are you ahead of us? I can't remember.
Behind us.
It's like 12 o'clock, right?
Yeah, it's 12 o'clock because we haven't changed our clocks yet. I think we do this weekend, so I'll be back to 6 hours behind after the weekend.
Jeez. Okay, fair enough. It's about 100 degrees there anyway, so I'm sure you're living your best life.
Yeah,
but listen, let's get into it. As you can see from the title of the video, like I said, get your thoughts in. We want to be as interactive as we possibly can with the channel. That's something that I'm trying to improve. I'm not going to lie, it's probably not my strongest suit at the moment because I just lose track of the comments. So please get your comments in. More importantly, keep them on track with what we're discussing. And obviously, if you've got any questions as well, please put them in the comment section. But anyways, first question for the panel, and obviously everyone viewing this. First things first, is this Ole's last game in charge at Manchester United? There's a lot of speculation going around on social media, basically insinuating if you lose this game against Manchester City, this could be curtains. I mean, yeah, wishful thinking in my personal opinion. But Shawn, I'll pass it to you. What do you reckon? Because there's finally been a curtain call for Ole. What do you reckon?
I don't think there's a chance he gets sacked. I don't care what happens. If you can take a 5-0 to Liverpool the way that we did and survive it, my man just doesn't die. He's like the Undertaker in WWE, SummerSlam. It's like he's out, he should go, but the man just sits up, straight Beetlejuice in it. The dude is not going anywhere. Not about the listen. I've said it before. Man like Tidy Cats, 9 lives. And let me also let the people know. If you want Ole to leave, let me give you another reason he's not leaving. So just last night, I'm driving down the road, and not only did I take one rock or stone, whatever you guys call it over there, to the windshield, I had another manage to fly and hit my side passenger windshield, driver's side window. How does that even happen, right? So there is no way that anything this weekend could happen to bring me that kind of joy as if Ole finally being out the door and we get past all this toxicity and move into the next phase of our club's development without Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at the daggone wheel crashing the bus. So at the end of the day, I don't see it happening. They could hand us 7 and I still think he keeps a job.
Wow.
And they'll be clapping for him in the stadium after, by the way.
I mean, like we established yesterday, if you don't clap or sing his name, even if you lose 5, 6, 7, you're not a real fan. So I think it's important that we bear that in mind. You have to sing Ollie's at the wheel, otherwise you are a fake fan, Shawn. So please.
Oh no, I've got the song. I can sing it.
I mean, if you don't sing it, you're a fake fan, Shawn.
I mean, I can sing it. I can sing it for you right now if you want to hear my version.
I mean, by all means, go on.
It's always at the wheel. Tell me how bad does it feel? We got Rashford, Pogba, and Fred. Still, our football is wank and dead. We are the greatest of English football. But with this guy, we'll win sod all.
Oh my God! Listen, first and foremost, I've not heard Beyonce since that rendition from Shawn. Beyonce's not come outside. That's all I'm saying. I've not heard a lot.
Nah, bro, I just made that up on the fly. You know how we do.
You love to see it. Ty's saying all the hope, but we should lose for one. We will get into score prediction at some point a bit later on the show. Also, very good question from I'm going to pronounce this wrong. Dipanshu Rawal. Rawal, shall I say? I don't know why I've said it in English tone. Very good question, bro. I will come to that in that second. I don't know why I've said that in English. I'm going to get invited for that. Oh, God. Anyways, we'll come to that question. That's a good question, bro. So that's something we'll cover very shortly. But listen, I just want to get Kojo's thoughts. First and foremost, regarding Ollie's job, Ollie's potential last game in charge, as the rumours are saying. What are your thoughts on that? Are you siding with Shawn on the matter?
Yeah, we've been knowing for time that it's time for him to go, man. Because I said it to you, man. I said it to everybody else that could hear me. We ain't got time for this same old cycle of apparently he beats the big teams and then does. It's not sustainable. It's never going to be sustainable. They were never ever going to keep beating these teams, and a slapping was coming. Every team is due a slapping here and there. And United slapping was incoming. Unfortunately, for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, it's not going to be just one slapping this season. And I say unfortunately for him because obviously he doesn't want to lose the job. But we've lost all faith in the guy because he's not the guy to take us over the line. And that's what it is at the end of the day. When you're a manager of a football club, you're given... I always give 3 years for someone, no matter where you are, what level it is. I always give you 3 years to build something. If you get it done in the first year, beautiful. But you have to continue that. But I give you 3 years as a minimum to build your team. And then you have to push to the next target. So if you're like a Brighton, after 3 years, after Graham Potter, whoever it may be, if they're in the bottom 10, your next target needs to be trying to compete for a Conference League, Europa League spot. That needs to be upcoming because you built your squad in 3 years. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has had 3 years and he spent a lot of money. So with that money, I'm expecting, and people talk about United are the progression club, right? Third, second, what's next? Exactly. We're smiling because we know what's next, no? So it's either you go here. It's either no, it's true. It's truth though. It's either you go here. He said himself. He said stuff like, "I'm going to be successful here. So if there's any players that don't want to be here, I'm going to be a success here. They're not going to be a success here." Something along those lines. He's said that it's United's expectation to compete for trophies. Hell, and in his second season, he actually came out and said that United should be challenging for the title. So this is your third year, and you're not adding Varane, Sancho, Ronaldo. You have to win the title. That's just what it is. That's the target. If you don't do it, it's got to go. And Usman, you say we're in November and we're already talking about can we make top 4? That means objective has failed. So move.
Simple as that. I mean, just to add to that, for me personally, right, I don't think he's going to get sacked off the back of this game. I know some people in the comments do think that. However, I think it's an indictment of the Glazers. I mean, you know, we spoke on last night's podcast regarding the role the Glazers play. And obviously, at the end of the day, they're the puppeteer, isn't it? He's the puppet. Whether we want Ollie at the wheel or not, he can't really sack himself. Although I've said he needs to walk, but if you look at it realistically, he has no reason to walk. He's at his dream job. He won't get paid. It's the Glazers' duty of care to look after the football club, and it's quite evident that is not a priority on their sort of remit. That's not something that they're thinking about. Ollie potentially could still get top 4. And that's all they care about. We're top of the table in the group, in the Champions League group, shall I say. So therefore, they have no reason to currently sack him. Even if we lose to City, I don't see this as being the final straw or the final nail in the coffin from their perspective. Because in their perspective, we're still 5 to 6 points off top 4. It's very early in the season. We've got a fantastic squad. So it's more than capable of, in their eyes, turning it around. Of course, for us people that actually watch football continuously, It's quite evident that the writing's on the wall. He's out of his depth. He doesn't have a plan A, let alone a plan B. Therefore, he should be displaced. But from their perspective and business owners' perspective, why have the Saka manager so early into the season when he's on a contract? Financially doesn't make sense for them. And from a business perspective, as I've mentioned, he's not realistically failing in their eyes because he's still on course to potentially get top 4. If he was to win this Man City game, well, they're dreamland basically, because not only has he beaten Man City, and Manchester's going to be plastered red all over social media, but he's in the top 4. That gives him till the end of the season. So for me, the Glazers won't sack Oli regardless if he loses this game or not. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, and I know a lot of people report that he will get sacked off the back of this game. I really can't see it. As Shawn said, if he can survive a 5-0, this guy would have survived the plague, all of the wars, the Vietnamese war. He would have survived COVID 3 times all over. If you had COVID 3 times, this guy can survive whatever he wants because he ain't going to die. He ain't going to get sacked. He ain't going to leave. So we're stuck with Oli. Oli's at the wheel for the foreseeable, bar an absolute miracle, which we should not be expecting from bankers from America. So for me, I'm sorry, strap in and prepare, because this is not going to be a pretty season. It's going to become very toxic. We're only at the cusp of how bad it's going to be this season for me. And the fan base is only going to get worse, which is a sad indictment of what the Glazers have created within the fan base, because some fans think the standards have dropped. Some fans are saying, back your manager, and they're accepting the standards, but those standards have been set by the Glazers, not by the managers or the players. They've been set by the Glazers because they're accepting mediocrity, and the fans are falling for it. So if you are watching this, and you do watch this, and you are Oli in, this isn't a dig at you, and you're like saying that you know less. But for me personally, you're basically eating out the Glazers' hands if you're Oli in, as it currently sounds, because this is basically what they want. They're playing on your heartstrings. Emotionally, they've got you in their hands. And for me personally, it's going to continue until it goes south quickly. So, yeah, I don't know what you think regarding that, Shawn.
Well, what I think is that last weekend, the loss to Liverpool was it really was a pivotal moment in the standards. And I know people say it's a buzzword, but it's facts. In the standards set by our club, right? If any manager can lose that way to that team on that type of form anyway, and keep a job, you would be a fool to think our standards of what we have been, what we were, are where they were, because they're not, right? We are not that club. We are no longer Liverpool's rival. We are no longer City's rival. We are no longer Chelsea's rival. We are rivals with Everton, Leicester, right now West Ham, these teams that aren't going to win the league but are battling for Europe. That's who we are. If we allow that, we are no better than Arsenal. We can't banter them. I refuse to banter Arsenal. I'm done. Like that game broke me, because I don't care how much you love or don't love a manager. People say, well, Sir Alex lost big games, but not like that, not to them, not that way. Not if we're honest with ourselves. The problem with football fans, Usman, is that football fans don't use context. I tried to explain this to someone on a pod not too long ago. I went back through the whole season so far, and I came up with 4, possibly 5 halves of football that we played that were good all season. And people can say what they want about De Gea and about Ronaldo, but if not for those 2 players, we would be well off the pace, probably about 12th or lower, and we would be sitting on like 1 or 2 points in the Champions League if we were lucky. Because how many games have we won at the depth or drawn at the depth that really we didn't deserve? Think about like the game against Wolves. We had no business winning that match. Think about the Villarreal, the first time we played them. They battered us the whole first half, and somehow we come out of that with a Ronnie winner. Just this past match that we had with Atalanta, game after game after game after game, these players are rescuing this manager, keeping it to where our results make it seem like it's respectable because of where we sit in the league. But we've been horrible all season. We were good against Leeds, which everyone's good against Leeds because they're wide open. They fit in our hands perfectly. The second half against Newcastle, you could say we were okay. The first half against Everton, you could say we were okay. And then if you want to say we played well in the second half against Atalanta the first time, I'll listen to that. I don't think we played well. I think we scrapped together 3 crappy goals to get that win. But at the most, that's all we've played well. And if a guy can coach a team to be playing on that standard and then get slapped by Liverpool and fans are still clapping and singing, listen, there's no amount of delusion that can describe what's going on in our fan base. And Usman, you are spot on. The Glazers are doing this to us. It's not to make it all cultural or anything, but when the British colonized the world, one of the things the British loved to do when they would colonize is, they would pit local peoples against each other, because as long as you're fighting each other, you don't fight back against those that are in your nation. And that's what's going on in the United fan base, right? We've been divided. They know we're divided. They like it. And it keeps us arguing about who's a real fan or who isn't. It's just stupid. When the fact is the club is rotten from the top. The rot starts from the top. The Glazers, Ed. But listen, Ollie, whether you like it or not, Sir or Miss Top Red who could be watching this, he enables them. He shields them. He is them. You don't have to like it. It's the facts. And listen, I could even go in deeper in that, but I don't want to create a major war.
No, I think you've hit the nail on the head there. Like, in terms of, Ollie being the Glazers puppet. I mean, some of it is his obviously his due diligence and his fault. But at the same time, he hasn't got that authority over the Glazers to really say no to them.
This is his dream job too. So what's he going to do? He's not going to kick up a fuss. I mean, come on. I understand.
He's a yes man, isn't he? Basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's why they didn't want Conte.
Yeah, that's exactly why they didn't want Conte, and basically they've come out and said that as well, which is even more embarrassing. But Kojo, let's talk about the game itself. I don't want to go into too much detail because it's a bit of a short preview. But regarding the game itself, how important is this game to Man United in the grand scheme of the season? Look, we're currently 3 points behind City. Notoriously got a very good record against City under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Do you feel this could be a turning point, basically, if we were to get any sort of a result in this game?
Yeah, I mean, I really don't look at it as a turning point because we've beaten City before. Some reason City can't dominate us despite dominating the league in the last, I guess I said the last 10 years, to be completely honest. So they've got some sort of struggle against us. But look, Liverpool and Man City have set the bar in the last maybe 4 or 5 years in terms of title challenge. They've been the teams to beat. And in our first test against one of our main title challengers, we lost 5-0. So I really can't explain just how badly United need to win this game. Because if you lose this one as well, and forget, it's not even about getting slapped at this point. It's just, fireworks. It's just about if you lose, you only get sacked. Is this why people are popping fireworks? Interesting. Anyway, the main point being, look, you got slapped 5-0 by your main title challengers. The second ones are coming in. They're the reigning, defending, undisputed champions of the English Premier League, and you need to come and slap them also. But are you going to do it? And this is what I said to you yesterday, Usman. I said to you, bro, if he gets piped by these guys, and I'm going to use the word piped, I want it to be really raw and vulgar. If he gets piped, by City as well, remember the day that David Moyes, and I'm going to say his name now because he's regained my respect after what he's done at West Ham. If David Moyes can come out and say with his chest, we aspire to be like Man City, I'm scared of what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to say. That's what I'm going to say. They better beat Man City. But it won't mean anything because they're going to go and lose to Brighton later on in the season anyway. So there you go.
I mean, I was going to clip that, but I'm not going to clip it now. Put it that way. I ain't going to clip that. I can't do that to you, Kojo. But yeah, listen, in terms of what you said, it's complete fact, man. Look, at the end of the day, we've come into the season, right, as Manchester United fans, we've spent 450 million, if you want to quote it exactly, and we've got Rashford, Pogba, Greenwood, Martial, David De Gea that he inherited on top of that 450 million spent, which I said yesterday, 700 million quite easily as squad. And you've got Ronaldo as well, and Varane, and Sancho. I mean, if you look at the names I'm mentioning, I understand football's not won on paper, but the names I'm mentioning, you would not affiliate them names with the top four battle. Those names do not go with top four battle. If you mention Maguire, then maybe they do. But in the general consensus of the team, not in terms of like Maguire lowers the team down a lot. Not like because obviously his would be relegation if it was just him, obviously. But the point I'm making is that the players that we've got currently, going into the season with the players we've got, a lot of us expected us to be in a title race. A lot of us expected us to be challenging. A lot of us expected when we play against Liverpool that we put up a fight. When no one said that we were definitely going to win that game, but we thought we'd compete. The word being compete. We have been so far away from competing throughout the entirety of the season. The Liverpool was just the epitome of how shit we've been, because the true levels were on display in that Liverpool game. We were playing teams far below Liverpool's level, to which we were competing, because that has now become our new level. So the likes of, I don't know, who did we play? The Newcastle, the Southamptons, the Evertons, teams like that had become our level this season. And that's why we was competing. Basically, what I'm saying is we've become a mid-table team under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer within a very short span of time. And people are going to say, well, you finished second last season and you finished third, so that is a cop-out. I understand that's a cop-out, but if you actually look at the performance of this season, you can't tell me we're competing with the big boys anymore, because we have not competed in one game against a so-called decent team. Even Leicester, when they were on a barren streak and barren run of form, but absolutely humiliated us 4-2, and De Gea got keeper man of the match. How can you lose 4-2 and your keeper be man of the match? That says a lot about the performance. So we could have held 5 against them. We held 5 against Liverpool. Could have been 10, but they showed mercy on us. Our biggest rivals showed mercy on us. If Man City come and pop us off the park, which they're more than capable of doing, I'm sorry. I'm not saying Ollie will get sacked, because I don't believe the Glazers will do that. But how can he look himself in the mirror and say, I am the man to take Manchester United forward? He's played 3 good teams after this Man City game. Got absolutely battered against Leicester. Got humiliated against Liverpool. And if you get humiliated again at the 3rd time, bro, and not to mention got kicked out of the cup by West Ham as well. So the only time he's played a good team, he's got humiliated. So for me personally, the end is near, man. The end is near. If he doesn't get sacked, which he should do, we might as well forget about it, Shawn, man. Like, this game, for me, he has to pull something out of that. He needs to pull something in the bag. We can't have a repeat of that Liverpool performance, because this is just tarnishing the club at this point. He's breaking all the records for the wrong reasons.
He's been doing that for a while, actually. And the funny thing is, I really exposed his tactics that he's planning for this weekend on another pod yesterday, when I broke out that I wouldn't be surprised if Ole has, he's talked Carricky and McKenna-E and all of his other E's into trying his new 9-0-1 formation that we're going to break out tomorrow, where
9-0,
where he's going to make any kind of bus parking that we saw under Jose Mourinho look tame in comparison. I'm going to tell you why, because he likes to play on the break against City anyway, but he knows he can't lose this game terribly. So I really see us being very defensive and keeping it tight. But here's the thing. I'm calling it now. United are going to win this game. And not just because it's a derby, right? We're going to win because we have no business beating Manchester City right now. We have no business not being within 3 to 4 goals of Manchester City right now, the way we're playing. However, this is Ole, and we've seen this story 2 other times. This is the 3rd time in my life I've been sitting here saying, after embarrassing losses, this guy has no business being in the job, and I watch him go on a 4 or 5 game winning streak that we have no business going on. Now, this one feels different because it doesn't feel like all of the players are with him, like they usually are, because usually the players are with him. we feel more lost even now than we ever have been. But I got to be honest with you. I mean, I watched us lose to a team that was relegated in Turkey. I've watched us lose in a stadium called Wankendorf to Young Boys. I have watched us be so abysmal that I'm telling you this for free. Anyone that wants to argue with me that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is even a better coach than Shawn Dyche better get in the bin and give their head a wobble. Because if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was in charge of Burnley, I promise you they would not have stayed in the league as long as Mick Ginger Dyche has kept them in the league. I'm telling you. So who's the better manager? Because Ole is, listen, I don't want to hear this stuff that he's done at Moda. Moda is not even MLS standard. Now, I don't want to slap the MLS because my sons are in an MLS academy right now, but I digress. You get the point. Ultimately, listen, he's not good enough. He's out of his depth, and because we've all loved him as a player and respect who he was as a player, the Glazers have pulled on our heartstrings. They've created the civil war, and now we're in this mess. And because Ole is Ole, like I said, the man just comes back. He's going to pull it out. He's going to pull it out against City, and I just see it happening. Like I said, it's the way my life is going right now. Here's what I don't need to happen, Kojo. I don't need, because Kojo's chosen violence today because he come in with a fresh trim and they hit him with that 0 on the side. And so, what I don't need to have happen tomorrow is us to have like a 0-0, 0-1, 2-1 United, lucky 1-0 garbage game United. If we lose, I need it to be bad. Like, I need it to be bad. It won't hurt me. Like, it can't hurt me. You can't hurt a dead man. They killed me last weekend. That means I'm dead. They killed me last weekend. So whatever happens, I just can't deal with this City beats us 2-1 and it's close. Or somehow we nick a 1-1. Nah, we got to get slapped or nothing.
So what you're saying is you want us to lose to Man City and you want us to lose badly so Ole gets sacked. Is that basically what you're saying?
Well, the thing is, it's not that I ever want us to lose, and it's not that I want us to lose against City because he's not getting sacked anyway. This is why I'm irritated, because while I want to go out and hope we lose, and even if we get destroyed, he's still going to stay in a job. But anyway, if we get destroyed, then at least keeps the pressure on him, and all of his defenders have to shut up. That's all I'm saying, because it's getting on my nerves. And I see the quote from Bruno Fernandes. Bruno's about to turn himself into a pagan. I'm gonna be like Kojo. Everyone, close your ears. Sucking off Ole the way the guy is. Message delivered from 3 in midfield.
Listen, that was class. But listen, for me personally, right, I hear what you're saying. I don't want to see us lose to City because I've just had enough, to be honest. I've had enough of being humiliated. Because I don't think he'll get sacked. I genuinely don't think he'll get sacked. I hear what you're saying, Shawn, is what I said prior to the Spurs game, if you remember correctly. I said I want him to lose the pressure to be on him. And people were saying he's not going to get sacked, just man, etc., etc., etc. Now looking back on it in hindsight, I think he would have got sacked if he lost the Spurs, because obviously they would not have got content. The pressure would have really been on him. But now he's beaten Spurs, got that result against Atlanta. Obviously he wasn't deserving, but he got the result nevertheless. Which puts us top of the table in the driver's seat, so to speak, of the Champions League group. If we get a result against City, we're literally getting points with them. So I just don't see it as doom and gloom as I initially said. Not because I personally don't see it as doom and gloom. From the Glazers' perspective, as I mentioned earlier, I just don't see them sacking him, even if you get humiliated, which isn't, like I said earlier, it's an indictment of how poorly run this club is. But Kojo, let's get on to the game, because obviously I'm very skeptical of the time. We did get this question earlier from Dipanshu Rawal, which I've definitely apologized in advance. That is not pronounced right. I know that for sure. But the question is a good question, hence why I put it up. Back 3 or back 4 against City. If you are in charge, in fact, what do you think Ole's going to do?
Well, I'll ask you the first question. If I was in charge, I've never been good with a back 3.
That's what Shawn just said simply.
I never, I never even when I do my own coaching, I never coach with a back three. I'm just not very comfortable with it. But with Ole, for his sake, he's gonna have to go to a back three because he's gonna have to try and regulate Man City as much as possible. That's as simple as it gets. He's gonna have to obviously keep Bailly in the team because Bailly was excellent. I don't know what the situation is with Lindelof. I know he got injured, so he couldn't play in the Champions League. I don't even know if he's back.
Ali did say that they are keeping an eye on Lindelof to see if it's progression.
Oh, okay. So basically, he's going to be 50% fit, but he's going to play. Okay, cool. And obviously, you know, the ferry is going to.
I'm gonna choke when I drink that.
And you know the ferry's going to start as well. So
I've spat everywhere. Looks on my jumper and everything.
So look, he's going to go to a back three, and he has to because at this point he's in survival mode. But this is where it gets scary for him because if he loses this game with a back three, then it's done. It's over. If I'm being completely honest, it's done because that shows that against your biggest rivals, with a back four, you got hit for 5. With a back three, if you lose against City, no matter what the scoreline is, that's a damning reflection on your management. Again, I'll say it. Are you the man to get you Man United over the line? You've been to 4 semi-finals, you lost them. You got to a final, your man management in that final was appalling. You admitted that you had tired players at the end of the season, but it took you 100 minutes to make your first sub. So that is a damning reflection on you already.
What about this, Kojo? Just to add to what you're saying, Rich is saying the back three gets a fault because we know they're playing a false nine.
We have enough center backs, Kojo. Because isn't Lindelof?
Because Luke, for me personally, when I say back three, Luke Shaw left centre back, then we've got Maguire and Bailly, and then Teller's left wing back. That's what I would personally.
He wouldn't do that. I would do
that because we're gonna get battered if we go back four against these lot.
I genuinely think if he sticks with a back three, Tellers still won't get game time. He'll put McTominay back there. you think I'm joking? You think I'm joking? But he would.
McTominay plays centre back.
He would.
He does for Scotland.
Thank you. That's why I've said it. Because he played for Scotland, so he was saying, well, the guy's got experience there. That's what Mourinho did. But Mourinho did it because he was angry.
So he's terrible. He's a terrible defender. It's not even what he's good at. But for some reason, because he's big, people think he's a good defender.
Exactly. So that's another issue. And also, I'm hearing noise that Philip might be coming back to the scene as well.
Nah, bro. Sir Philip of Jones is not.
Phil Jones is better than Maguire. I don't care what anyone says.
Philip Jones.
There's only one person in Europe right now that I think is even worse form than Maguire, but people ain't ready for that discussion.
Yeah, but
wait, who's that?
Kimpembe. That mug is rubbish.
Hey, listen,
trash.
Listen, Shawn, this is why I like you.
He's so bad. He's Harry Maguire with them German vitamins, allegedly. And pace.
Shawn dropped the allegedly had to. Yeah, sure, you better check yourself there, bro. You don't want no lowercase suing you or not. But yeah, no, Kimpembe, Upamecano, and Maguire, them three need to have, and the back three would be glorious. Let's just get this comment on screen. I already put it up, but I need to read out. I've never known the Glazers to sack a manager if top four is still available, unless that person loses their dressing room, such as Jose did. Keep getting your questions in and your comments. I don't think it makes sense. I don't know what I think that's referring to the back three. When we use wing backs, why don't we play Tellers? Doesn't make sense either. Yeah, that's a big fact. There we go. Keels. Thank you, as always, the absolute goat. So also regarding Lindelof, it's still a doubt. Hopefully he can come back in tomorrow and say he's ready. I would expect him to be ready, put it that way, but I can't promise you. Okay, so basically Lindelof is playing this game. For me personally, right, if Lindelof starts this game over Bailly, I'm going to lose that chat, lads. I'm going to lose it, Coach. I'm telling you right now.
Osman, that shouldn't even be the discussion anymore. It should be if Maguire starts with a Lindelof or Bailly. Because Lindelof literally, apart from one or two times, hasn't put a foot wrong this season. His partner, on the other hand, and we're now hearing what he's a bit rattled about the armband. Brother, this ain't Antonio Valencia changing the number, bro. This is captaincy of a major institution in the football world, bro. And you're telling me now that I'm a bit rattled. I don't know if I can use that. I can hold the armband. Then, brother, drop the thing and then get dropped as well. Alright. If Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's playing you because you're captain, brother, I'm begging you, please drop the armband because then we can give us all a favor. Real talk. I don't want to switch like Ty did on his show. Big up Ty and Trafford Tunnel. I don't want to switch like him. But the guy he's completely inept at his job, and that goes to his manager as well. So as far as I'm concerned, the question shouldn't be if Lindelof is a buy anymore. It should be if Maguire starts, forget a buy.
No, Coach Albert, no, you've hit the nail on the head there. I'm gonna apologize for even fucking saying that initially, because why the hell am I giving Maguire this leeway? No, I think in my head I don't question players anymore because I know they're gonna start. For example, McFred, we haven't even mentioned them because we know they're gonna play, so don't waste my breath. So in my head, Maguire is definitely playing, but you're 100% right. There's no way in God's given earth that Maguire, after dropping 1 out of 10. The 3-peat 1 out of 10 should be starting this game, especially against a Man City team that play a fluid attacking football with a false nine. Maguire would get ripped to shreds. So if he doesn't go back three, he better be Lindelof and Bailly. But guess what? It's going to be Maguire and Lindelof. Bailly will be on the bench. I can sense it. I can see it already. But like I said, I'm very short for time. If you are joining us, please do slap a like on the video and please subscribe to the channel. If you're watching this later, please also get your comments in, your score predictions, that kind of thing, because I do read the comments. Just want to quickly get some comments on. First and foremost, shout out to Eyes in the Ball, Darren in the building. Big up the Manda, my brothers. We love to see it. Always speaking facts. Let's have a look. Wonder if he sticks with the back three and drops Matic and McTominay in there. That'd be interesting. I mean, it's going to be very defensive. We know that much. Players not ready to get picked. Anyways. So why does it matter if they are ready? What? Did I read that wrong? Players not ready get picked anyway. So why does it matter if they are ready? Okay.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. That's
okay,
what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
We've gotten quite a few people hurt because of that, haven't we?
Bay City will abuse that guy. Easy red can for a penalty. Really interesting narrative from Sin. Yeah, I mean, for me personally, Bailly is our currently best defender that's fit. I just want to come back on the Maguire thing regarding the captaincy. Is that a legit thing? Did he actually say that?
I'm not sure, but that's what I've been reading all over the place. So if it's true,
because I've just literally got a text as we're speaking now by someone in another WhatsApp group, and they are saying they're quoting what you've just said, basically, not word for word, but similar to what you've said. So
right,
it must be a lot of speculation regarding that. I mean, if the captain of Manchester United is saying nonsense like that, how we still captain is just, and we preach Manchester United DNA every single day is beyond me. Because
you know what? If he's feeling like that is good for him to say it. Sometimes it's hard to speak, and if we're doing a serious,
you don't have to say it in front of fucking the fans because it's embarrassing.
I don't know if he said it in front of the fans, innit? I don't know if it might be leaked.
Either way, for me, it's embarrassing. Like if you say to behind closed and say, "Look, Ali, for me personally, I don't think I'm fit to be the captain of this club because I'm an absolute bum and I shouldn't be on the pitch, let alone the captain," then I'd accept it.
I don't think so like that, but I hear you still.
But if he's not saying that, then what are you doing, Maguire? But yeah, like for me personally, he needs to be honest with himself. This is what I said about Oli earlier. Self-reflection is key to progression. And if you're not willing to self-reflect and look yourself in the mirror, and I always say this to all the kids that I teach and whatnot, you got to be honest with yourself, because at the end of the day, you can't lie to yourself. You can lie to the people around you, but you can't lie to yourself. You got to be true to yourself. And then Maguire doesn't think he's fit enough to be captain. Then what? I respect him if he relinquishes that duty. However, if he continues to be captain and dropping these stinkers and acting like an absolute wasteman that he's acting like at the moment, then I can't respect him. It's as simple as that. But Shawn, what are your what are your opinions on the lineup, the formation, and all that good stuff? What do you reckon, bro?
I think that because we've played a certain way against City most of the time in the past, I wouldn't be surprised if Lindelof is not fully fit, and and now Ole's under pressure for picking people who aren't fit over and over and over. I wouldn't be shocked if we reverted to a back four, only because if you've seen even the game the other day in Atalanta, when Varane goes down, the easy adjustment to stay in your shape is you bring in Telles, move Luke Shaw to the left side and center back, and you still have three at the back. But Ollie doesn't think that way. And if we have these injuries, I don't see Tellus coming in to do that unless Ollie's had someone talk to him this week and actually teach him that's possible. Alex Tellus can play as a left-sided wingback, and Luke Shaw can play in the back three. I just see him, going back to 4-2-3-1. Either way, we're going to be looking to hit them on the break and trying to get Marcus Rashford in behind. That's basically that's what Ollie's hoping for, trying to sucker punch them, hit them somehow on the break. We're not going to come out and try to press them the way we did Liverpool and do certain things because they'll bop us off the pitch. I wouldn't be surprised to see, I'd love to see Matic and McTominay. I'd never love to see Mick Passion ever, ever, anywhere near our squad. So, anywho, and then you got these guys out on football Twitter and on YouTube that act like this guy's better than Paul Pogba. Man, give your head a wobble. It's ridiculous. But anywho, that's a topic for another day. Ultimately, it's going to be all about vibes, passion, who's up for it more, because this is how Ollie coaches, and it's a derby, so it can go our way. I could see us literally having 25% possession and still nicking the game.
Wow.
It's Ollie is inevitable in these things, and Pep doesn't have the best record against Ollie anyway. So, but Uncle Pep and them took a loss last week, and he didn't like that, so he could be choosing violence. If so, I think an early goal is key, Usman. If they get
a disco first, bro,
we're in trouble.
Forget about it.
Yeah, but I think we win 2-1. I think we get 2 sloppy goals, maybe even a PK. Maybe something like that, something real sketchy. Somehow we're gonna do it, man. I just see it, and so Pogba is trash, to be honest. I don't see what
everyone's entitled to the opinion. I'm not going to get into the Pogba.
He's a world class ability midfielder, but we're not going to go there. He's been trash at times, and he hasn't always given his best. But the club and Pogba are both to blame for where we are at this point with Pogba. One of the biggest problems with Pogba that Sin must not want to admit is that one of his biggest issues at Manchester United is he's injury prone, whether people like to say it or not. Every year he's been here, except maybe this season because he hasn't been playing. Why are we even talking about a bench player?
Yeah, sure. Let's not go off topic because we haven't got much time to do it. I've literally got 2 minutes, and plus, each to their own. There's no point trying to even think. At the end of the day,
he's leaving anyway. Why are you crying about him? He's leaving.
Basically, he's not going to be here.
Worry about the scrubs we have in midfield because they're staying.
Each their own opinion, and if you don't rate Pogba, you don't rate him. So for me personally, what I want from you, so give me your score prediction. I'm just going to go through. So you got 2-1.
United.
All right, fair enough. Obviously, Kojo's not here to give his score predictions. So get your score predictions down in the chat. Let's have a look what people are saying. Glazers out, Ollie out, big facts. I think we will win 2-1. If you are joining us, by the way, I might have said it about a billion times, but please do slap a like on the video because it does help your boy out a lot. Let's get a couple of comments in here from Akil. Playing a back three against City's false nine won't be ideal. It allows them to overload the midfield. Back four provides more chance of hitting them on a break and pace extra with pace. And that's how we're beating them. Extra tackle front. Big facts. Shahid saying, not believe I'm saying this, but if we lose, will Ollie get sacked? I don't think. We've already discussed that in a lot more detail earlier in the show, but I think the general consensus from the panel was that we don't think he'll get sacked. Sadly, because the Glazers don't have any ambition. Rich, shout out to you. How bad does Maguire have to play to not get selected for England? It's absolutely baffling that he's been selected still. Pogba is class. 3-1, let's smash up those fools. Fair enough. Shawn, we same, bro. Score prediction wise. Let's have a look. 3-1 City. Ollie will not get sacked. Right. I'm going to give my score prediction. I don't know where Kojo's gone, but he did give his score prediction yesterday. I think he said we're going to lose 4-2, if I'm not mistaken. For me personally, I think it's an absolute no-brainer. Manchester United 0, Man City 4. We're going to get fucking battered. I said against Liverpool that we're going to win 2-1, and I said with chest, and I listed off all the reasons. Man, pull a PowerPoint presentation out of how we can beat Liverpool, and that PowerPoint presentation went out the window in 10 minutes. After that game, I'm a wounded animal. I'm not even going to come on here and start speaking with chest regarding this
broken
game, because the last time I did that, we held 5. I said we're gonna win 2-1 against Liverpool, lads.
They broke me, bro.
Man,
I said 2-0.
Bro, I didn't even stutter, Shawn. I said with chest that we would, Rashford will be man of the match. So for me personally, I know it's very negative, and I don't normally predict us to lose. But nevertheless, I'm going to have to on this occasion. I can't see us winning this game. I just think City are going to be too good against his defence. They've got too much quality for us. Simple as that. And I don't think the manager's capable of fixing the problems.
Yeah, now Ole Gunnar Glazer's got this, bro. Ole Gunnar Glazer's
the defence
got
is
this.
an absolute shambles, and every single game we've played, bar against an embarrassing Spurs team, we've been shambolic at the back. So for me, we're going to hold at least 4. Whether we score 5 is up for debate, but we're holding 4. So for me, it's dropping. Hopefully, if you do lose to that in that manner, as Shawn said earlier, it will be the end of Ole. I personally don't see that happening. Hopefully, I'm wrong altogether and we win. That's my ideal scenario. I want us to win this game because I don't think Ole will get sacked if we lose.
Yeah.
I've just come to the conclusion that we may as well just
Come on, United.
Flip and hope for the best. We'll see what happens. But listen, that is the end of the show. Just to say a massive thank you. Make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel. If you're watching this on repeat, get your score predictions down below. If you haven't already, go into the YouTube channel. Obviously, get your score predictions. If I have missed it in the chat here. If you haven't, also make sure you follow myself on social medias. Follow Shawn, follow Kojo. All our socials are down below in the links if you can't read it underneath our names currently. Follow us up. Obviously, subscribe to their channel, 3 in Midfield and Worldwide Red. They post a lot of good content on their channels as well, so support them. There are now regulars on our channel as well, so I'm happy to say that. But listen, slap a like, subscribe to your boy. We've got a watch along tomorrow, nice and early for all the Manchester United fans. Hopefully in good spirits. Before we go, Shawn, just let the people know, just in case they can't understand what I'm saying. Where can they find you, bro?
Yeah, at the on football Twitter at the crazy place WWReds_show. That's me. Or over here on the YouTube. Go over right now to Worldwide Red Show and subscribe. Everyone's welcome. No matter if you're Ole in, Ole out, Ole shake it all about. You're a top red if you love United. That's how I feel.
Big fact. Simple as that. Make sure you go show love to everyone. The links will be in the description. Don't worry about that. But anyways, it's been your boy, man.